Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to give you some quick fitness tips today. Today, we're going to be talking about gut balance, taking care of your gut, taking care of your intestinal tract. And there's a few different reasons for this. First, I think that all of you who are just getting into fitness and who are just getting into bodybuilding, there's this tendency to say, well, I really want this body. I really want to get lots of muscles. I really want to get stronger. And in order to get to that goal, I'm going to endure a bit of discomfort. So what happens is you drink a bunch of protein shakes, you eat a lot of meat, and your gut starts to feel a little bit off, and you feel gassy and bloated. And what do? You say to yourself, I'm going to freaking push through this. I want to get huge. I don't care if I smell, if I have lots of gas, if I'm uncomfortable, if I have diarrhea, I'm going to push through that. And that's something I was guilty of when I was younger, and I ignored that. And today I have ulcerative colitis, and it's something I can't ignore. So if you have an uncomfortable digestive tract, if you're dealing with diarrhea, if you're dealing with irregularities in your bowel movements, that's something you really shouldn't be ignoring. You need to take care of that. Your gut is extremely important for a few different reasons. One, it houses a lot of your immune system. And so if you are not taking care of your gut, your immune system can be in peril. The other thing you have to remember is that the digestive tract, in some cases, only one cell thick, right? One cell thick in your digestive tract. So there's literally a layer of one cell that's keeping some really bad things from getting in your bloodstream. So if you have aggravations in there and irritations and lesions start to develop, then that can cause a whole host of different issues as well. On top of that, our brains and our guts are connected via something called the vagus nerve. That's VAGUS. I might be mispronouncing that, but it is a connection between your digestive system and your brain. And so a couple of different things can happen there. First, I want to give you an example of where you might notice this. One, if you get really nervous about something, you're about to go on stage and give a speech, you're about to compete in an athletic event, what happens? You get butterflies in your stomach. And so that's an example of how it's connected. But what we have to remember is that because these two things are connected, they have a two-way street between them, right? So one, if your gut's out of balance and it's not acting properly, you can get a lot of different types of brain fog. You can lose a lot of energy. You can fall into depression. You can deal with a whole host of different things. On the other hand, as well, if you are depressed, if you are dealing with certain emotional issues, if you are under a lot of stress, that can also affect your gut and can lead to other different types of issues. So we really need to know how to take care of our gut. We really need to know how to take care of our digestive tract if we want to perform at our best, if we want to look good, if we want to feel good, if we want to live a long, happy life, and if we want to avoid a lot of the different types of issues you can run into by not taking care of your digestive tract. So a couple of different tips that I have for you, just right off the bat. First thing is this: don't just shove protein and meat and crap down your throat. And when I say crap, I'm not just talking about junk food. If you're eating tons and tons of protein, eating tons and tons of carbs, you can't just shove it in there and expect that your digestive system is just going to take that on. I've seen kids who are like 150 pounds, 160, 180 pounds trying to shove 400 grams of protein a day down their throats. That's not just going to happen. One, I don't think that's healthy at all. I really don't think it's healthy to go that high in protein. Yes, there are IFBB professional bodybuilders out there who are doing it. Yes, there are big time powerlifters who are doing it. But that's one thing. Bodybuilding and powerlifting and health aren't overlapped. A lot of these people are extremely unhealthy. A lot of these people are, not to, and if that's what you want, that's fine. I have respect for somebody who puts sacrifices to get what they want in this life. But at the same time, I think a lot of you aren't necessarily looking to get on stage as Mr. Olympia and aren't necessarily looking to set world records in powerlifting totals. And so if you're just doing this to get healthier and you're trying to increase your self-confidence and make your life better, then putting 400 grams of protein down your throat really isn't going to be the way, especially at the beginning. So my advice, and what science demonstrates, is that you really only need between 0.6 and 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. In some cases where you are maybe a college athlete or somebody who has a very, very active lifestyle. I'm not talking about just going to the gym once a day for an hour and saying I'm going to get huge. That's not an active lifestyle. But if you're like at a higher level competing, then in some cases 1 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight is a better call. But for most of you, between 0.6 and 0.8 grams per pound of body weight is going to be the way to go. And you can check up on the science of that. I'll post some articles underneath this video for you to check out. So that's one thing. If you're eating too much protein, that can send your gut to dysbiosis, where bad bacteria is going to take over and things like that. Another thing you can do is to add fermented foods to your diet. So I'm talking things like raw sauerkraut, kimchi, in some cases kefir. Kefir's cultured with probiotic bacteria. The reason why probiotic bacteria works so well is because it brings the gut back into balance. So you have a gut microbiome, and it's a bunch of bacteria in your gut, weighs about 3 pounds, and what happens is sometimes the bad bacteria can really outweigh the good bacteria. And if the bad bacteria outweighs the good bacteria, then that can really send the gut out of balance. It's going to send you to the bathroom a lot. It's going to cause diarrhea. It's going to cause things like depression. It's going to cause things like sugar cravings, like processed sugar cravings, because those bad bacteria crave things like sugar, but they also get supported by over-consuming protein, particularly if you are consuming a lot of charred meat, that charring on the outside. That's one of the things that's, can lead to cancer and things like that. So you want to support the good bacteria in your gut. So fermented foods are one way of doing that. You can also supplement with probiotic bacteria, but be aware that there's a lot of scams out there as far as these types of supplements go. So if you're gonna get a probiotic bacteria, one, you need to make sure it's been refrigerated throughout its process, right? And so if it hasn't been refrigerated, or if it sits outside the refrigerator, there's a good chance that a lot of that bacteria isn't active, it's not alive. So a better source for that is gonna be fermented foods, like sauerkraut, like kimchi and things like that. Another thing that you really need to be doing is making sure that you are eating green vegetables. And particularly if you're eating meat, you need to be eating green vegetables with it. And again, that helps to alleviate some of that bad bacteria that is in the gut by setting off those heat toxins and some of the other things you're getting from the meat. So make sure that you're eating green vegetables as much as possible. And admittedly, I'm not giving you a really good answer on that because I actually need to look that up a little bit more, and maybe I'll do that in a later video if you guys have questions about that. But green vegetables are another way of making sure that your gut stays in balance. And finally, avoid lots of processed sugar. There's this big debate in the vegan community right now between certain people who are saying eat lots of processed sugar, and then other vegans who in my mind have a really healthy conception of how to diet, who are saying no, don't eat lots of processed sugar, don't eat lots of junk, support yourself with good healthy food, and that's common sense. But one of the reasons why back when flexible dieting became really popular and everybody was eating Pop-Tarts, one of the reasons why I almost lost my mind with that was because if you're eating that kind of sugar every day, you're also supporting a really bad gut, a really unhealthy, unbalanced gut. You can send yourself into gut dysbiosis. And so, you know, I'm not saying never touch it. I'm not saying never eat bad sugar, but use common sense. If something's in a package and there's a million different chemicals in it, and you're seeing high fructose corn syrup in there, then it's probably not the healthiest thing in the world. And again, I just wanted to put this video out there just to give you some quick and dirty tips. I'm not saying that my word is the word of God or anything like that, and some of the stuff even that I've said in here as far as the green vegetables, I haven't supported that with any articles, and I'll seek to do that in the future. But I wanted to put this at least out there to spike your consciousness and to allow you to have a better semblance of understanding as to how important your gut is, and allowing you to at least have this on your radar. Because if you don't, then it could come up and bite you in the ass, and you could be like me, where I look great some days and I look horrible, you know, a couple of months later because I had an ulcerative colitis flare up, or more importantly, I've been in and out of the hospital because of all the flare ups. Way longer video than I wanted to do, but whatever. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.